afternoon, people, and welcome back to another stream. Today's stream, we're going to do a quick video on can Liverpool win the Premier League after beating Manchester City at Anfield yesterday 2-0. We're going to go through fixtures, injuries, stuff like that. So make sure you smash the likes. We're on the road to 700 subscribers. So let's actually start off at yesterday. Liverpool, Manchester City. It was a complete domination. And, the stats say otherwise. Man City only one big chance. Expected goals, Liverpool 3.57. Ball possession, I think that's just... how would the Man City have more possessions? That's interesting. Let's go over to stats. Yeah, it was a complete domination from Liverpool. We had many big chances to even go more than 2 goals up. It should have been way more. Just look at the stats. I'm not a stat guy, but I think you can tell from the stats. If you didn't watch the game, this was a very much one-sided game against Manchester City. Mohamed Salah picking up the best match rating on FootMob 8. He won man of the match. How does that even make sense? Bernardo Silva got a 7.4. I thought he was atrocious. If this is based on order, then what the fuck? Because it was a complete and utter domination. Yeah, how did Ake have a better rating? Kyle Walker, he was atrocious. If I'm being honest with you, it was an absolute battering. Here was the lineups that did play the game against Manchester City. Obviously, Alisson wasn't back fit. Trent did come back in. Obviously, Konate picked up the injury scene with Conor Bradley. Diaz down the middle. Gakpo comes in. Szoboszlai, I thought, was brilliant, by the way, yesterday. Very underrated. Jarrell Quansah was good when he came on. Darwin was all right. Caused a couple of problems. Got involved in us winning the penalty yesterday. And these were obviously the rest of our subs. And Man City, right, talking about injuries. I want to clear this up real quick. John Stone's out injured, okay, but he's barely plays this season anyway. Mateo Kovacic, I'll give you. Rodri, I'll give you. Oscar Bob, he's not proven at this level. How can you possibly say, but we've got Oscar Bob out too? No. How many games has Oscar Bob played in the Premier League? Maybe 10 games max? I'm not hearing it. Compared to us, we had the best goalkeeper in the world out. Conor Bradley has been a good... he's been playing for Liverpool over the past year, here and there for us now. Konate's been on probably our best centre-back in the league this season, probably the best centre-back in the league. Kostas Tsimikas was out. Jota, our starting striker, was out. And then Chiesa, fair enough. We will make excuses on that. But here is the Premier League table. Liverpool on 34 points. Man City 23 points. 1 win in 5, 4 straight defeats in the Premier League. It's actually meant they've lost 4 games and 2 draws, and they're still in the top 5. And to be fair to them, they should be on about 15 points near enough, because Fulham, they got lucky and they should have lost to Fulham. Wolves, they should have dropped points. So that's 5 more points to take away from them. They could have easily been on. They could have easily been in Brentford, Tottenham's position if it went the other way. They got really, really lucky. But the question is, can Liverpool win the Premier League title? These are our fixtures from now after the Man City game. We have Newcastle in 2 days' time again. Everton on Saturday, then Girona in the Champions League, Fulham, Southampton, Tottenham, Leicester, West Ham. I think the best way to break down our fixtures is just kind of look at them up until the Christmas point, because after West Ham we have got a week off, to be fair. So if I'm Arnie Slot, how I'm assessing this situation is full strength against Newcastle. I'll go full strength against Everton. I will rest against Girona. I mean, look, the Champions League is near enough about done now. Fulham, full strength, obviously. And then Southampton, you probably go mixed team there. This is a competition that we can win. Obviously, you got Man United versus Tottenham. You've got Arsenal against Crystal Palace, Liverpool against Southampton. I think there's one more in there. I think Newcastle against somebody. Then obviously we have Tottenham, Leicester, West Ham. They're not bad fixtures. Like the fixture form that we have just come out of, at that Crystal Palace game after the international break, people will be looking at our fixtures thinking, yeah, Chelsea dropping points potentially, Leipzig potentially dropping, Arsenal, Brighton in the cup ain't easy, Brighton isn't easy again, Leverkusen, best team in the Bundesliga last season, unbeaten, Aston Villa, one of the best sides in the Premier League, and then obviously Southampton, and obviously Real Madrid, then Manchester City. People were looking at that big 10-game fixtures and thinking, yeah, Liverpool are dropping points. We won every fucking game, mate, barring fucking Arsenal. And this is the table based off the last 5 games. We are, based off the last 5 games, Manchester City are in 18th on 3 points. So if the title started 5 games ago, they would be in the relegation zone. That's mad. Aston Villa's down there. Surprisingly, Manchester United is actually 5th. And then obviously we're first, then Chelsea, Brentford. If you're doing it based off home, to be fair, Brentford's only got 1 more point than us. We actually lost off, obviously, Forest. Away, we're definitely top. Yeah, by 3 points. Man City, where are they? They're 6th. Yeah, they just don't typically travel away. Has Arsenal lost at home this season? No, they've actually not. There's actually a few teams that haven't lost. Who haven't lost at home this season? Brighton, Arsenal, and Brentford. Well, obviously, that's just the table all in all. Obviously, we have Newcastle next, Arsenal, Man United. I think for us as Liverpool fans now we have that big gap on Manchester City. It's all about trying to maintain that gap now. Because if we do get injuries, like big injuries, we are going to drop points. So we want that gap to be able to fall back on. So I'm looking at our next fixtures, right? The next 2 are, in my opinion, out of the block of 8, the next 2 are the toughest. Newcastle away isn't always easy. We saw that last season when we scored last minute with 10 men. Everton in the Merseyside derby. It's the last Merseyside derby at Goodison Park. The fans are automatically and the players are automatically going to be up for it. And then it's a derby. Form goes out the window. We lost there last season. We have a right to wrong to prove. Girona, we rest. Simple as that. And then obviously Fulham have been a decent side this season. I remember last season at Anfield we scored very late. Southampton's in the cup. Then Tottenham, we got the beef from last season to avenge. Tottenham have been very mixed bag at home this season, dropping points to Fulham, losing to Ipswich. And then obviously Leicester, they've just not been great. And then West Ham have been absolutely dog shit. So for me, I'm looking at it as, obviously we take 1 game at a time, but the next 2 for me at the block of 8, Newcastle and Everton are by far the toughest. And if we can get out of those games with 6 points, man, it could be beautiful, because then realistically we can rest our team for near enough a week for Fulham, and then we can keep resting. So the next 2 games are absolutely massive in the hunt for the Premier League title. Let's actually have a look at some of our competitors. Manchester City. People are saying Manchester City are at the title race. I'm not going to completely write them off. I'm not going to say Liverpool are going to win the league. I still am a bit cautious. because if we do get injuries, of course, we know what can happen. I think if we get to 15 points ahead, I would seriously back us. I would say if we get 15 points ahead and we come at the Christmas period on maximum Premier League points and other teams drop points, I would say it's a good 85% chance that Liverpool become the Premier League champions. And obviously, Manchester City, their next 2 games is Nottingham Forest at home. Man City, I mean, look, Forest have been a good side this season, and they obviously got Crystal Palace. I actually think they'll beat Palace. And then they've got to keep playing their full strength team because they've then got Juventus in the Champions League. It's not looking good for them in the Champions League either. So they've got to go full strength again to try and get 3 points. Then it's the Manchester Derby. And if you think about this in the Manchester Derby, Ruben Amorim's just come in. He's been 3 games, one in the Europa League, Ipswich and Everton. And there's already signs of improvements in the squads in terms of Marcus Rashford, Ahmad, Garnacho's looking okay, Mazraoui, Onana. So there's automatic improvements there for Manchester United. So the Manchester Derby ain't going to be easy. It's a Manchester Derby. Anything can happen. And Aston Villa away before Christmas. The thing is with that one, if Aston Villa get their act together, we've seen what they're like at home. They're one of the toughest away grounds to go to, Aston Villa. I remember Man City lost there last season, didn't they? Because I remember in the same week they beat Man City and they beat Arsenal. So if Aston Villa can get their act together in the next 2 to 3 weeks, that's going to be a really tough game anyway. And then Everton on Boxing Day, I think they'll beat Everton comfortably, and I think they've not lost away this season, obviously Ipswich. And then we obviously are going further into January. They have got Chelsea, Arsenal, Newcastle, Liverpool, Tottenham. So then Forest away as well. Brighton isn't easy. Like their fixtures after West Ham is mad. Man City need to go on a run now because after this block of 5 or 6 games, they've got 6 games where they're dropping points in 2-3 of those games. There's going to be a loss in there. There's going to be more points dropped. So that's where Man City, if they want to stand any chance of a Premier League title, they need to win all their games and put to West Ham. If I'm being honest, and hoping Liverpool and Arsenal and Chelsea potentially drop points. And obviously improve on their performances as well, because it's not even like they're playing well and losing games. They are playing dog shit. They are genuinely one of the it's just absolutely press them and get in their faces in their midfield. Once you get past their midfield, you'll create chances on the wings because Kyle Walker's finished. Carl Bardio's not been great this season. John Stones is out. Ake and Akanji isn't great this season. So you just got, as soon as you get past their midfield, you're going to create chances and you're going to score goals. So, and plus they're not scoring goals anyway. So it's not like you're going to be struggling defensively because Haaland's not scoring and they're barely creating chances to be able to get up the pitch to create chances. So I feel like for them, Man City's fixtures after the next 5 is really, really tough. And these fixtures aren't easy either. Like Forest isn't easy. They've been good this season. Palace, I think they'll batter them. I mean, if they lose to Palace, then my goodness, box the season, actually box off the season. You're only on career mode and on the old FIFA, you can end season. That's what Manchester City should be doing. And then Juventus and obviously Manchester United, then Aston Villa, then Everton. Big mixture of people. You are smashing the like button. Well, actually, let's have obviously that's Man City's fixtures. So let's have a look at people are saying Arsenal are Liverpool's strongest contenders. Let's have a look at Arsenal's fixtures. These are Arsenal Football Club's fixtures. There's some tough ones in there, but there's some very much winnable games. Manchester United at home. I think that's going to be tough, but that could easily be drop points. Look, new manager bounce and all that. I think the only key thing is Kobe Mino and Lisandro Martinez are going to be missing in the game, and I think that's obviously a huge factor. Fulham away, London derby isn't easy. Monaco in the Champions League, they're going to have to go full strength again because, look, they're just in the league phase, and obviously they want to do well in that. Everton at home, they'll beat Everton at home. Palace in the quarterfinal of the Cup. Do they go full strength in that? Mikel Arteta's got to win a trophy, and this is probably his best opportunity right now to win a trophy. It's the Carabao Cup. And then obviously, they're playing every 3 or 4 days. And this is why this is a bonus for Liverpool, because Liverpool have got that Champions League game where they can rest now. We've done our homework. We've done our work in the Champions League to be able to rest for a game or two. And if it really comes to it, we lose against Girona, we've got the Lille and the PSV game to fall back on if a fucking disaster class was to happen in the Champions League. Everton, they win. I think they beat Palace, and then Palace away before Christmas. And then they've got Ipswich, Brentford, they've not lost this season. And then they're going away to Brighton. Brighton have lost at home this season. Tottenham, obviously, it's the North London derby. Aston Villa, you got Wolves in there after that. They've got some winnable games after that. Arsenal. Their fixtures are kind of mid over the Christmas period. I think the positive is for them, they're not travelling far, but from what I've seen, they're at home, away. I mean, that's not far, is it? The Craven Cottage, it's not far. Obviously, home again, and then away again, South London, and then home again, and then Brentford's in London. Then obviously Brighton is like an hour away, isn't it, from London, an hour and a half or so. Then home again. Realistically, for the next month and a bit, they actually haven't got to really travel far. Where's their furthest away ground? Really, Leicester? Tell you what, it's not for a while where they're going really up north. What's their last couple of features? Got Southampton at home. God, that game's going to be so big. So big. And that's Arsenal's fixtures. We'll go back to the Premier League table. And can Liverpool really truly win the Premier League? I think we can. I genuinely believe we can. I think the difference is this season is saving our energy. I think that's one of the reasons why we lost the title last season, is one, due to injuries, and we just physically got burnt out. What was going on all fronts in the Europa League, the FA Cup, the Carabao Cup, the title. And Jurgen Klopp's football is very much draining, and it is very much tiring. Hence why, when we did tried to win the quadruple a couple of years ago, we had a massive off-season. Our players were absolutely dead on their arse. That was knackered. But if I was to ask the question, do I think Liverpool win the league? If we can keep Virgil van Dijk, Mohamed Salah, and Ryan Gravenberch fit, I think we've got a good 60-70% chance. I'm not running my mouth away. I know we're 9 points clear. It's a nice gap. That means Liverpool have got to lose, 3 games now? I mean, when was the last time a team lost 4 or 5 games and still ended up winning the Premier League? Do you know what I mean? I think hopefully Manchester United, first time Manchester United can do us a favour and drop us what? Hopefully. And then the same with Chelsea. I think Chelsea could genuinely be a serious threat for the title. I know people are saying it's too early, but they're playing brilliant football under Enzo Maresca. I think the only worries for them is it's the same sort of thing. If they can keep their key players fit, like the Cole Palmers, the Jacksons, the Fofanas, the Levi Coles fit, I think they could do something this season. They could, I think Chelsea's objective this season is to definitely get into the Champions League football. To not have it for nearly 3 seasons with the amount of money and the pressure that they've spent, it would be a disaster to not get Champions League football this season. I do think they get it. I still think it will be Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea, Man City, whatever order. That's the order I think. I know people, Man United are now looking okay. They could challenge, but I just don't. They're not better than Liverpool. Liverpool are 14 points clear. Arsenal are better than them. Chelsea are better than them. And Manchester City will get their act together, and I still think they will get Champions League. Manchester City are not going to drop out the Champions League. Yeah, if Man City on a Thursday night, that would be hilarious, and it would be unbelievable banter. But if we keep our keys players fit, Gravenberch, Virgil van Dijk, Mohamed Salah, our 3 best players this season, we have a chance. We have a certain big chance. I just don't want to get carried away. If we was 15 points clear, I would change my mind. I'm just hoping we can beat Newcastle. I'm hoping we beat Newcastle, and I'm hoping. I'm not really. Southampton not going to do fuck all. Let's not hold our breath. Hey, Brighton, are they in the title challenge? Do you know what I mean? Like, they're on the. Yeah. I mean, although. Yeah, they got Fulham next. Hopefully, that will happen. Let's actually have a look at the Premier League fixtures for this week. I'm intrigued for the Christmas. What games we got this week? Just before we end the stream, we got Ipswich, Crystal Palace, Leicester, West Ham. These games will be on Prime, and obviously you got some League One football. Wednesday's the big games. I wish they spreaded them out because I would have liked to have watched Newcastle, Liverpool, Arsenal, Man U. These games will be on Prime. We will be doing a live watch along, and we will be doing a live preview and match reaction for the Newcastle game preview coming out tomorrow. And we will also do as a YouTube short predictions for all the Premier League games. What we got on Thursday? Oh, Bournemouth-Tottenham. Bournemouth-Tottenham could be a good one. Bournemouth have been good this season. Tottenham just mixed bag. That could be a good game. Then obviously you got Friday, no PL football. I think Saturday's got some big fixtures, I believe. Yeah, you got the Merseyside derby, Man United, Forest, Crystal Palace, Man City. Hey, Brentford, Newcastle could be a good one to watch at 3:00. And then obviously you got Sunday. What's on Sunday? I think it's Fulham, Arsenal. And yeah, Tottenham, Chelsea. Ooh. We might have to do a double watch along again for that. I'm not going to lie, but we're going to wrap it up there. Will Liverpool win the Premier League? Will Arsenal catch them? Will Chelsea catch them? Will Brighton pull off a masterclass? Will Man City catch them? Somehow turn around their horrendous form? I mean, we'll have to find out. We all go again on Wednesday in 2 days' time. Hopefully the Reds do be. We will have a match preview at tomorrow. Watch along half an hour before the game, and then match reaction after that. Make sure throughout the whole of the Christmas period, I want to be doing daily live streams. I want to be uploading probably 4 or 5 shorts a day, really pushing and up in the content, and then same on the TikTok as well. So make sure you do smash the likes and subscribe to the channel, and take care. Up the fucking Reds.